How do you know when to stick with something or whether you pivot? And what did you learn about that?
Well, it ties in a lot of your focus on leadership. What I learned was that context matters, circumstances matter, and the leader I needed to be as CEO when the company had 50 employees was different than when it had 5,000 employees, and when we were a small private company that was different than a larger public company. And as the company scaled, I had a broader set of responsibilities, a broader set of constituencies, including governments around the world. So again, trying to educate them about the internet. So, my leadership style, I think, changed. I went from, like most entrepreneurs, being involved in everything to trying to really build a team and delegate as much as possible and empower and trust the people that work for me. So I didn't have to be involved in everything, and just had to reassess pretty much every year. What changes should we make to the organization? What new perspectives do we need? Maybe somebody's done a great job in marketing or finance or whatever it might be. Maybe they're not going to be able to, make the next, take the next lap for us. Maybe we need to bring in somebody else with a broader set of experiences, or maybe we need to launch a new effort in some new area like mobile or something else, and we need to bring in somebody that had that experience. So it was constantly trying to kind of look in the future, 2-3 years, kind of understand what the overall market might look like then, what our company might look like then, and start putting in place before we needed to the structure and the team that would enable us to get to that next stop on the journey. So it was a constant reassessment. And the last point I'll make is part of what I was doing, traveling around a lot, was constantly on the outlook for people. I was called the chief executive officer, but I really was more like the chief recruiting officer, because I was constantly on the lookout for talent. Even when I remember meeting you in the late 90s, when you came to the office with Bob Pittman, I was thinking, this guy seems like he's pretty good operator. Maybe we can pull him into the orbit. I was not successful there, but I was always on the lookout.